My name's Chris, and...
I'm Kristie.
Or what's your other name at the moment?
Croaky. I'm Muttley, because of my laughing.
Yeah, you're laughing at the moment. Here we go.
Don't make me laugh. It's bad for my throat.
I know it is, and unfortunately, no, it is bad for your throat, but it's great for the podcast.
Oh, it's wonderful.
And what is this podcast? Why, it's the washing up, of course.
I thought it was going to be the Wacky Races for a second.
I did think about calling it the Wacky Racers, but yes, no. So you were greatly missed the other night. Thank you again to Beck Pobji for stepping in.
Yeah, nice work, Beck. You did well.
Yeah, she coped with me quite nicely, I
yes.
thought. She handled everything. So now, when obviously once Muttley's voice has returned, we will actually go back and do our very special
Baywatch,
our Raywatch finale, because
it's just delayed. I can't do any singing at the moment, and there's no point in doing Raywatch if I can't sing.
Yeah, if we can't sing,
I'm going to cough.
Yeah, no, save your voice. We need to talk about Gaston and his wonderment last night. So,
I know.
So because we need to talk about that, save your
muskets.
voice. Oh yeah, yeah. So we have obviously the elimination train continued.
Toot. Oh, hold on. That's copyrighted now, isn't
wrong
it?
Wrong podcast. Sorry, Antonio, don't sue us. So we had the elimination train continued. Apparently Heston week is the week where we just put everyone in elimination.
It's like, all aboard. First stop, Sarah and Diana. Second stop, Callan and...
It's okay because this is Callan's week.
It is.
As Callan kept on telling us all week, this is my week. And like tonight, he kept on telling us again, this is my week. And I'm sitting there thinking, you were out on night 2.
Do you think, though, he actually deliberately got himself out so he could just go hang with Heston? Because that's what I would do. Say if I was on a show and, like, I don't know, someone like Linda Carter was there and... like, there was eliminations.
You just go hang with Linda Carter?
I just go hang with Linda Carter. It's like, fuck that up.
I don't believe that Heston hung with any of them. Again, as we said the other night, behind those big, the big silos, I'm convinced there was Heston's private chopper.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that...
Which actually looks like a tank.
Yeah, because it's disguising. And the other thing I thought that was quite interesting about that was that every night it just looked like they left the people in black behind. And like they had to hitchhike. So, and look, we've all seen Wolf Creek. I mentioned that the other night with Beck, that we've all seen Wolf Creek. And it had a bit of a Wolf Creek vibe to it. Also, by the way, congratulations Tourism Victoria for getting Gary Meehan to say so much about how wonderful Victoria was.
Yeah, he's probably getting a free weekend at Dalesford down the lavender farm there.
The only The only thing we were missing, really, was Gary looking directly down the barrel of the camera and going, "You'll love every piece of Victoria."
With, like, George behind chasing a big red ball of string.
And meanwhile, Matt Preston doing the jigsaw puzzle behind them. So
yes,
that would have been perfect. And Heston going, "What the fuck are these three doing?"
No, he had to put on the rabbit ears.
Actually, Heston would have put the rabbit ears on.
He would have. But they
disguising as a person.
Yes, they would have been made out of carrots, to be ironic.
So last night was fire.
It was.
And
before we get on to that, though, I just want to say, I think with Channel 10's budget cuts, the reason why they're leaving the people in black behind is so they can film a version of The Amazing Race for cheap.
And also Survivor.
Yes!
Survivor
Outback. This is going to be Survivor Outback of Melbourne.
Perfect. Yes, surviving outside the tram system, I believe it's called.
Yes.
So, but
Survivor Ungridded. Unhoddled.
Unhoddled. Nice work. So, the 4 in the challenge last night.
Yes.
The 4 in the challenge last night were Eliza, Aram, Ben, and Eloise. And look, there's a little bit to say about this. Not a lot, but a little bit to say about this. Now, the first thing I have to say about this is Aram. Aram...
He's inherited Ray's Teflon.
He has. He sort of rode Gaston all the way to this challenge.
Yeah.
And
your coattails are so comfy, Gaston.
My, what a guy.
And
he rode Gaston to this challenge, and then he did a decent job.
Yeah.
But to be fair, he did slightly Stephen Bradbury this challenge.
Yeah.
In that Eloise and Eliza kind of fell over in front of him, and all he had to do was do something perfectly serviceable.
and he would have got in there.
Because think about it, the fire thing, and he missed the brief completely.
Yeah.
It was, I think about home, and there's a fire burning at home, and when you come inside and it's warm, and Matt looks at the others and goes, I don't get it.
Oh, I don't get it.
If we're talking about homely, but it wasn't what the brief was. It was fire.
No, it's like make it look like the fucking log burner at home. You know, make a chocolate chimney, make a fucking chocolate. We've got one in the corner. What is that kind of fireplace called? Old fireplace, right? It's not the brick one, it's the metal one that you can buy from a showroom.
Yep.
My friend Gabby, her parents, or her aunt, I don't know, one of her relatives owns the fireplace place up in Orange. So shout out to them. We might get some sponsorship and get an upgrade. So anyway, back at the ranch, make it look like that. And then throw some chocolate logs in and shit. I don't know. Maybe not the shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't throw the shit in there. That's probably... I mean, look, even Heston's probably going to go bridge too far. So Aaron was serviceable. Eliza and Eloise tripped.
Is that a bad cook?
They tripped. Meanwhile...
Fucking Gaston.
What a guy.
He just went in there and pwned it.
The campfire, that was such a good concept, and it looked incredible. And even when he had that brief moment, and this is the thing, I sort of think that this week, for all of Callan telling us every 2.5 seconds that he loves Heston, and he's a mini Heston, the only person who's cooked like Heston all week has been Gaston.
Absolutely.
Every night he's done something different that's very much like a Heston.
And pushing himself out of his comfort zones.
Yep.
But actually having good logic behind what he's doing.
Like Callan telling us that he's the new, he's the young Heston. And what did he make in night one? A granita.
Yeah. Way to push yourself there, because we haven't seen you do granita and or snow, in the past before ever. Gaston.
Callan.
So Callan, sorry, my brain's going.
But no, I mean, he didn't, and this is my only issue, my big issue I've had with Callan is that he hasn't pushed himself like the others have. He's got very settled in what he does.
Absolutely. And I think it's more that he's thinking that he's doing it, and he's how can I put it? Yeah, there's a certain point in life that you can cruise along on your natural talents.
Yeah.
But the difference between people who cruise along on their natural talents and people who are actually
take a chance,
but also are curious and are thirsty to learn and thirsty to experiment and get that right. It's the difference between success. So,
I find christening yourself anything in this competition is usually a recipe for failure.
Exactly, like Gary tonight, just reinforcing Sam as Fisherman Sam.
Yeah, I mean, they don't give people labels. Like Mish was given this label of the dessert queen, and what did she go out on tonight?
A dessert.
A dessert. Exactly. Every time they give somebody that sort of label, it backfires amazingly because people get a bit too far ahead of themselves.
Exactly.
And the best consistent people in this competition don't have that. I mean, look, I've sort of labelled Carly a little bit because she mentions China every 2.5 seconds, but they haven't really labelled Carly.
No, they haven't. It's been an authentic kind of eventuation from people watching her.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, she does a lot of it, and I make comment about it all the time that, wait until, I think the other night I tweeted out, what's the over-under on how long till Carly, again, mentions the idea that this came from China. But it is authentic.
Yep.
And you can't argue that.
Exactly, like Eloise going to use whiskey and stuff.
Yeah, like, I mean, again, make fun of the idea make fun of the idea that Eloise uses whiskey. Like tonight, when everything was going wrong, and amazingly, there's a bottle of whiskey on the bench. How about that? But it's authentic. It's not made up. It's not invented. She's not doing it as her gimmick. This is what she does.
Yeah, there's a difference between, I think, setting yourself an expectation to live up to a label and actually having a passion that you're pursuing.
Yep.
So, and then people who don't really have a label or a specific passion that comes across, but who have that, just the general passion for cooking,
the drive,
and exploring, and they're the kind of people that you got to watch out for, because in the past 2 years, they're the kind of people who've come out and won.
That's what gets you there, exactly.
That's what Elena did,
Yep.
That's what I didn't watch the season before that because that was that shitty boys and girls thing. The season before, it was another person who everyone's like, oh, why did they win? Because they weren't a strong personality.
They push themselves. They test themselves. What I love about Gaston is that he pushes himself.
Yep.
When he had that moment in the fire challenge where he gets everything out, cuts it, and it's raw in the middle.
Yeah.
He didn't panic. He just went, okay, cut it, put it back in the pan.
Exactly.
Turned it, back on the plate, done.
Exactly. I mean, ideally, you'd like that to come out perfectly cooked, but if it doesn't, just like you do
But I
at
think
home.
actually probably that little bit of extra char, given it's a fire challenge, probably helped it.
And who doesn't like more caramelisation on their meat?
Exactly.
You know, unless you're going for something that's like melty and sous vide. Just that. Oh.
Exactly, the caramelisation works a treat. And again, it looked incredible. And they were talking about it was the best savoury dish they've seen in the competition.
Yeah.
And it was clear. It was very clear.
Absolutely.
And
particularly when his mind went, okay, I'm dehydrating these vegetables. And it was hilarious when all the onion skin and all that stuff, and everything's just gone flying off the thing. That was great.
That was brilliant when he suddenly...
But then he's gone, I'm going to set this shit on fire. I've got some extras.
And again, there was a little bit of... There was an interesting thing that happened. He, the night before, had done the petals, so the leaves.
Yep.
And had done the leaves. And then he went back to that again, refined it a bit more with the onion skin stuff, and made the ash.
Yep.
And that ash was a really good touch as well. And along the same lines, Eliza in the first dish...
Yep.
It didn't quite work the first time where she decided to make the potato out of potato.
That was great though. Potato, potato, potato.
Potato, potato, potato.
I wanted her follow-up dish to be cold
Spaghetti.
spaghetti.
Oh, she could have done the dessert as mashed banana.
Oh, she could have missed a trick there, Eliza, but never mind you.
Yeah, well, again, she went with peaches. Millions of peaches. Peaches for free. Millions of peaches. Peaches for free.
Oh, free me.
Look out.
She
was moving to the country.
She's just, peaches come from a can.
They do, indeed. And also...
Not put there by a man from a factory downtown. Sorry, too much President of the United States. Back at the court.
That's okay, because she doesn't play guitars. Anyway, lots of peaches reference, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of peaches.
Mm-hmm.
So, and notice how we avoided singing Golden Valley Gold. Well, it's because you can't at the moment,
No.
And I'm not going to... Actually, you can do that. And pineapple.
No.
So I could sing it.
That's pineapple.
Yeah. Yeah. Golden Valley Gold.
Now, I just want to put you out here and just say, this afternoon, Chris is just having fun with my voice after he discovered the Muttley love. He's gone, oh, can you just say Matlock for me? Like, Matlock. He's just...
Now say Seymour.
Seymour.
See? There we go. It's the gift that keeps on giving, ladies and gentlemen. Muttley. Muttley's choking now. I'm killing Muttley in the middle of the podcast.
I also want to assure people my voice isn't sore. It's just
sex workery.
So it's just this podcast is now going to cost you $5.99 a minute.
It's going to go on after Up Late with Hot Dogs. Anyway.
Yes. Double five. But
Eliza did the peaches and then did the same concept a second time, but she refined what she did.
Absolutely.
And it worked a treat.
And she learned. Heston's gone, look, you would have made the liquid nitrogen work, more ice, boiling hot water.
Went back, did it a second time.
Yep.
And Eloise's comment on Twitter afterwards was she went, look, she served that dish up. I had nothing. So... What we ended up with then was tonight. Now the challenge is basically, the way I put it was food that isn't food.
Yes.
Let's do food that's not food. And ladies and gentlemen, we had the return of Spheres. Now we've
and Parfait was fucking Tinder Bingo. Not Tinder Bingo. Master Chef Bingo.
No, Tinder Bingo is the other game.
We'll explain to you Tinder Bingo.
We'll explain Tinder Bingo actually now. So Tinder Bingo, ladies and gentlemen, what you do is, if you have that lovely dating app Tinder, what you do with Tinder Bingo is you go and look at people's photos.
Yes.
Now, you don't make fun of them. That's not what we're doing here. But what we are doing is looking for the cliche.
Looking for love is quite... And we met on Tinder.
There you go. What we're doing, though, is we're looking for cliches. Exactly. So, the game you play is, do they have a photo of them with a pet? Do they have a photo of them with their friends and you can't tell who they are? Do they have a photo with a child where they make it quite plain in the profile, not my child? And there's a number of others. Do they beach... Snow.
With a drink in the hand.
If they're a girl, do they have the leg cocked? And
no, wedding attire.
Wedding attire, definitely. That's always a good one.
Not bride and groom, but I'm talking about their other mate's wedding.
And bingo, the win is in front of Machu Picchu.
Yep, insta-win.
It is an insta-win, and before you go, what the hell, trust me on this.
Yep.
1 in about every 10 has Machu Picchu behind them.
Exactly. So make yourself up some bingo cards.
And off you go.
Your mates come around, say, we're playing Tinder bingo.
And again, it's not making fun of people on there. You're looking to see the cliched photos that people put up.
Exactly.
It's quite funny. So what we got instead was Insta-win bingo here on Spheres.
And Parfait.
So the people who did the Spheres, let's start with Sam. Sam decided he was making a blackberry.
Just, one little blob, like the little pustule of a blackberry.
And then when Heston looked at it and went, that's not going to look anything like a blackberry.
It is. You pretend you're in giant land. You suddenly shrunk. You're a child.
Now, you had a really good idea, though.
You turned into a fucking magic 8-ball.
I think that would have been brilliant. You could have had a little thing inside which had a yes, no, maybe, or whatever it was inside, question mark in the middle of it. Crack it open. That would have been really nice. I think that would have. Now he decided to do the fallen apple instead. We'll come back to the fallen apple because to me it didn't look like a fallen apple, but we'll come back.
Yes.
Michelle. Now Michelle made the dish that I would like to refer to as MasterChef 2016.
Yes.
It was. That's what I'm calling the dish because it was a parfait in a sphere.
Now, good on her for the concept. I think what she did, it looked like a coconut. It looked like the husk of a coconut.
It looked a little bit like the husk of a coconut. Now, she said, I hope Heston gets the concept. Now, Heston's been on this show now, as you said, for years. He definitely understands the concept of a parfait in a sphere. 100% Heston gets that. Parfait in a sphere, he goes, yeah, I watched bits of last year. Yeah, definitely, I know what that is. It was every week, wasn't it? For the last 4 weeks. We need to call it
a sphere. A sphere-fay.
Sphere-fay.
Sphere-fay. There we go.
Sphere-fay. Yeah, because you can't do it the other way around.
Sphere. It's just weird.
Peer, just, it makes it sound
like
a hereditary title.
Exactly.
So I'm sure Heston was fine with the concept, Mish, but again, we'll come back to you. Now, Tamara decided to do chorizo and, well, look, I don't really care what the rest of her dish was. She did chorizo.
With an amazing corn ice cream.
She made chorizo.
Sweet corn ice cream. Okay. She made chorizo. Insta-win. If Chris was judging, you're safe tomorrow. It's like you've just gone to
chorizo. And I didn't really care about the rest of it. No, in all honesty, she made what she called the savoury cornetto.
Yeah.
Which actually, the sweet corn ice cream, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Streets is down the road. We should go and hit them up. We'll start a petition and we'll go down there.
To get Tamara's sweet cornetto. Savoury cornetto.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
And they have a factory outlet once a month. It's dangerously good.
It is dangerously good. So Tamara had chorizo salsa inside the cone. And then she made the ice cream, which looked really good, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, the initial concept from there going,
It was a bit too big, but it'd make a really good amuse-bouche.
It would have made a good amuse-bouche.
Make them a little bit smaller. Got a nice little amuse-bouche there.
I love Noel Fielding in the amuse-bouche.
I think that's going to be him on the Great British Bake Off.
Great British Bake Off. He's going to call it my show is the amuse-bouche. So everyone, if you do watch the next series of British Bake Off, and good luck. Count every time Noel makes a joke where he makes a Mighty Boosh reference with amuse-bouche. Mm-hmm. Sarah.
I'm worried about you, Sarah.
Look,
deep down, she's like your fave.
Look, and again, Gaston.
Love Gaston.
Look, Gaston knows this too, that, I've been on the Gaston train pretty much most of the way.
He's not a train, he's a fucking rocket.
But I've been on Team Sarah from day one.
He's a tank. You're on the Gaston tank.
He is a tank. And it was pointed out tonight, on Twitter by Alicia, that, look at him getting all those carbs in on the Heston and stuff, eating all the meat and all the protein, and he's in. So, Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah.
The concept was flimsy.
They were thrilled with it, and I'm thrilled the judges were thrilled with it. The carrot wrapped in a leek to make it look like corn in the husk was really, I thought it was flimsy.
Yeah, I mean...
and she was so excited about it.
She was.
I mean, she's excited about everything, but she was really excited about that. And I was there, and I was terrified that was going to put her into elimination.
Same, because even from, the shots they were showing, it looked kind of touch and go.
It didn't... To be blunt, I didn't think it looked that much like corn in a husk. And then when they did the last shot...
It looks like carrot wrapped in corn husk.
Yeah, it looks like carrot wrapped in leek. But then at the end, when they showed the last shot of it, I went, okay, if I really squint.
Yeah.
If I squint. And
mean, it wasn't as terrible as Nicole's popcorn bucket, which literally was popcorn in a bowl.
Yeah, again, as I actually got a really good comment here from Twitter at one point, which was when they were talking about her idea and her concept. And again, I use the word concept almost incorrectly at this point in time with what she actually did. I believe it was at Schnorzman, what a great name on Twitter, who put out it was popcorn disguised as popcorn.
You will never guess this popcorn is actually popcorn.
All they did was...
It was popcorn all along.
All she did was cover some chocolate in popcorn, and that was the surprise where she hid the chocolate. That's not what this was.
Did you know there's chocolate at the bottom of this popcorn?
Yes.
Boom.
Yes, Gary.
Mind blown.
Just move that bit of popcorn there. See that brown? Yep. Either that's chocolate or we're not eating the dish.
See, I had another idea. This is inspired by Beck Pobji, right? Because tonight she tweeted she was having Cocoa Pops. I'm like, fuck, man, I want some. Now, I found some in our cupboard. They're stale. And we've got no milk, so I'm a bit disappointed. But we're going away for the weekend. I might buy a little travel pack. Anyway. I know.
Anyway.
Fancy. Back at the ranch. So I had this idea, right? You make like a sweet, silky, milk-like kind of thing, but it's savoury.
Yep.
Okay. Then you get meat and you mince it up, right? You make it really flavourful and spicy.
Are you about to suggest meat Cocoa Pops?
Meat Cocoa Pops. Fuck with the judges. Even if the milk thing's a little bit mushroomy, so it looks like the Cocoa Pops have been sitting in that milk for a while.
Just like a chocolate milkshake, only savoury.
Exactly.
So we could have... Yeah, actually, that's...
You know, the monkey, like Coco the monkey, comes out. It's actually a fucking cow. Boom.
Mind blown.
Mind blown.
Mind blown. Mish had one of... And look, I'm not picking on Mish and I'm not picking on Callan. I promise you I'm not. However, Mish did say one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Say it because I know where you're going.
To make the caramelised pineapple cubes, I cut the pineapple into cubes and then caramelised them. Wow. Obviously they filmed all the VTs, they film those after the elimination takes place. And I'm assuming that Mish wasn't quite with it and was just sort of going through the motions. It's got to be hard to do these things at the end of a challenge. Yeah. But that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard anyone say.
I don't know. Callan said something earlier this week that I thought was quite funny.
I don't know.
We're not picking on Callan.
He did also say tonight, my food is a bit wacky. And no, it's not. You've made granita like 8 weeks in a row. And then the idea of a chocolate bar that's really pumpkin and chocolate. Now, for me, it's sort of the concept. But if it was just pumpkin, fine. But it's pumpkin and chocolate. So all he's done is he's made a chocolate bar out of pumpkin and chocolate. So all he's done is slightly tweak the flavour of the chocolate. That's not...
But he did do the malts to make it look like a chocolate bar that could snap off the pieces and eat them.
He did a little bit, but then he also sort of flaked out. See what I did there? Flaked out on what he was going to do originally and then just put a bit of wrapper on the top and went, look, it's an open chocolate bar.
Do you think it wasn't as big a twixt as it should be?
Ooh, time out. Time out.
I know, my chocolate puns, I'm having a bit of a picnic on them, aren't I?
Oh, it's quite a Turkish delight. Anyway. Something club chocolate. Anyway, Eloise decided she was going to make a chocolate mousse pate.
Oh.
Now, Heston...
Worried at first.
Heston was worried too, which is when he basically said, don't serve me a bloody panna cotta.
And she's like...
And she went, oh, shit.
Yeah, you're right.
Then, Eloise... We talked about silly things that I've heard tonight. One of the dumbest things I've seen was Eloise runs outside to go to the garden and has a look and comes back and is surprised by the fact that the caramel that was on the stovetop when she walked out of the kitchen is now burning. You left it on the stove. What are you expecting?
Look, she was still stuck in last night's challenge.
Fire.
You
know, and then, good news.
Yeah.
She happened upon a bottle of whiskey. What luck!
I know. I think she just carries it around with her. It's in a little handbag.
I love the idea that she goes around just placing bottles of whiskey everywhere.
Oh, no, she's like Diana Prince and she keeps it down her back. It's like her sword.
No, I love the idea now that every challenge from here to the end of time, when they uncover all the ingredients.
Yeah.
When all the judges are like distracted for a moment, she runs up and puts a bottle of whiskey on there, runs back and they go, you can use anything on here. And she's like, I'll use that. And they're like, this is a fruit challenge. How did the whiskey get there? Doesn't matter. It's there now.
Oh, she pays Trent to use his ninja skills.
Trent's ninja skills. Trent sneaks in the bottles of whiskey. If you're listening to the podcast, Eloise, can you confirm with us or deny, but confirm that Trent is sneaking in the bottles of whiskey for you?
Yes.
Because we really need to know this. This is important.
Ninja Trent. Oh. That sounded really strong there, didn't it?
So Callan turned around tonight and said that this is where the competition becomes about cooking well or going home. I believe
that's what he said. That's the thing that I was like, what?
That's always what the competition's about. Or I believe this is Callan's version of live free or die trying. But then we checked in on the bath bomb that Sam made.
Yeah, it really did look like you've gone to Lush.
It was Lush or the Body Shop, and it looked like a bath bomb. I know what you were going for. It sounds like it didn't quite join up the way I looked. I looked at it and went, yeah, no, that's a bath bomb. And then he put the sprig out the top, and I swear I've seen that bath bomb.
Although, when I was in Brownies, we made some marzipan fruit, and when the judges said it looks like the marzipan fruit, I'm like, fuck yes, it does. That's exactly what our fruit looks like. It looks like the mangled sort that they reject from Woolies and Coles.
Now, we then had Tamara saying, I'm at the liquid nitrogen bench, which, first of all, she's developing a bit of a habit. It's a bit scary.
She's a naughty girl with a bad habit.
Bad habit for liquid nitrogen. So she's at the liquid nitrogen bench and she goes, well, I remember the oven. And everyone does the build-up music and we know where this goes. We know where this goes. We know where this goes. And it's a bait and switch.
Oh, no,
everything was
Tamara,
fine.
not Eloise.
I said Tamara originally. I might have said Eloise second. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
but
sorry.
She goes, I remember the oven. She goes back and it was a bait and switch. They were fine.
Yeah, the twills were fine.
And it messed me up because stop bait and switch.
It's like, judges, what you doing? Oh, sorry, editors, you're fucking with me. You know what? We should try and get one of the editors on. Okay, what goes through your mind? Are you like there every week going, I'm going to set up the audience?
Well, we might be able to try to do that, but unfortunately I think they'll probably cut all the good stuff out of the interview.
They'll set us up for a fall. It'll start off sounding really good and promising, and then with 5 minutes to go,
everything falls apart. We suddenly get this really weird music in the background. It's like, we don't have music on the podcast.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
So, Eloise, the pate actually looked amazing. The little bits of caviar she did was
genius.
Was genius. So, Eloise's...
I'm a pate lover.
You are.
I fucking love pate. I love making pate. I love eating pate. And that pinch she got on the centre and the granular kind of feel to it. And then the jello on top with those agar caviar. Oh my god!
It looked incredible. I mean, I'm not a caviar person. I'm not a caviar person, and I'm not a pate person. But it looked great.
That's the kind of pate you would eat though, because it's not actually pate.
It wasn't actually pate. Exactly,
which
I would have eaten it.
Why she named it.
I would have eaten it.
The Sucy Sausage Trois Pate.
Your French is amazing.
I know. It's like wearing gay Paris.
Now you knew that Michelle was in a lot of trouble. When they described it as hard and buttery, that's an interesting joint description, by the way. And then Gary said, odd.
That's a term I have not heard.
I've not had Gary this year look at a dish and go, that's odd.
It's a little bit different.
So, Tamara, look, it was a win from moment one. And Matt loved the ice cream.
Yeah. And you know who's also looked good? Carly's, her pea and ham soup. That looks...
That, again, I'm not a big fan of pea and ham soup, but...
I am. Love to make it. Love to eat it.
Which is the only way you'll eat peas.
Exactly. Only way. I like snow peas. And I like
snow peas, but I won't eat peas.
No.
They're evil. Diana made, with the duck and the leek, eat it like a bone marrow. It looked amazing.
Oh, that was brilliant.
It looked amazing. Again, Nicole had the bucket of popcorn, which was basically... It didn't hit the brief. They said it tasted good.
But the doctor was busy in the TARDIS and didn't have time to come back and help her.
I think that Nicole was really lucky this week. I think that Sam was next up on the chopping block because, again, he made a bath bomb.
Yeah.
And I think he was very lucky that Michelle's was just rock hard. The cream cheese parfait didn't quite work.
No, and I think there was like a step or something missing because she used the butter moulds to do her spheres in. but there wasn't a way to get rid of that buttery taste.
Yeah, so as a result, it just was buttery.
Butter. I can't believe this is not butter because it fucking tastes like it.
Now, look, we talked about people pushing themselves and taking risks. And, I have to give Sarah a hell of a lot of credit because that was a risk. A risk that I didn't think had paid off, and apparently it really did, and they liked it. So good on you, Sarah. I am a massive fan of yours, but don't do that to me again. That was terrifying.
I know. I can't afford to lose him.
No, it'll be terrifying.
Yeah.
It'll be really bad.
Leave his heart alone.
And then I don't know what I'm ever going to do if it becomes Sarah and Gaston at a showdown.
Oh my God,
it's a Sophie's choice.
That would kill us.
It's a Sophie's choice.
You know what it would be?
We'll pick Sophie.
Turn off the TV.
Yep, no one goes home.
MasterChef ends at that point.
It's like Puff the Magic Dragon, where I end before the last verse of Puff the Magic Dragon. Yeah. It's like Rocky IV when I turn it off once Apollo Creed is in the ring to living in America.
Exactly. He's there, he fights, he wins.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, Apollo Creed beats Ivan Drago.
Yep, he doesn't die at all.
No, he doesn't get You
don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
He doesn't get killed.
No, he doesn't.
He dances.
Forever.
He dances. James Brown sings him into the ring and he dances in the American flag. And
filming a film clip for James Brown.
That's what he's doing. Exactly. It was wonderful. It goes really well. Apollo Creed, we love you. And, he's the reigning and defending champion he's the champion of my heart.
Yep.
Champion of my heart. Mm. And much like that, if it ever comes down to a showdown between those two, we just turn it off.
Yeah, it's like the original.
And Gary and George and co. Well, not George because he's smaller than the others, but they chair the two of them out of the room. These are our winners, our joint champions.
Yes.
Yay.
Glitter falls.
And we all applaud.
Yes.
It'll be wonderful. Sam was lucky to still be there to be able to see this moment because, again, that bath bomb nearly got him out. Now, Callan.
Yes. Although Heston had a lovely bath afterwards.
He did. It was wonderful.
And relaxing.
It smelled like apple, apparently. So the last one was Callan. Now, I don't know. I wasn't as enamoured with it, but the judges seemed to like it, and it didn't look horrible. I was a bit worried about the fact that he used some dry ice and suddenly became a god.
Yeah, look, it's like I wanted it to smell like it's like the pumpkin after the ball of Cinderella. It's like, okay, it's either a fucking chocolate bar or you're doing the pumpkin after Cinderella's ball.
Yeah.
Are
you making a stagecoach or are you making a chocolate bar?
Yeah, and are you just doing the liquid nitrogen because you saw fucking...
You saw Eliza do it twice.
Yesterday, and you've gone, I can do that. This is my week. It's my week. Give me the nitrogen.
Eliza did it twice and Gaston did it on the first night.
Yeah, so he's like, bitches, please, I need to do this.
But, look, I'll give Callan some credit. He didn't make granita.
Yeah, So, are you sure he didn't turn the dry ice into granita before
he made one granita at the start of the week and that was about it.
Yeah, because he was out the next night.
Yeah, he was out the next night. Now, I really, again, it's not a shot at Callan. It really isn't. I just want to see you push yourself because you keep telling everybody the abilities you have, and there's no doubt you've got those skills. But
develop
and grow with them.
Out of your comfort zone.
Don't present it like you know everything now because nobody knows everything now. If you watch the masterclass tonight and you watched everybody watching Heston make a roast, for example, Heston's making a roast and George is standing there in amazement and then ruining it by trying to make them all lucky.
Despite the fact that at George's restaurant, and we saw this last year when they did
He makes lamb.
He makes lamb. And there's people devoted...
That's for the vegetarians. I make lamb.
No, but there's people devoted to doing the spit.
Yes.
As we saw last year between the red team, blue team challenge.
Yep. So... At the end of the night, Mish, the right call to go home was Mish. I think Mish had probably reached as far as she could.
Well, when her concept ideas go back and regress to where she started, she's probably learnt stuff, but she hasn't got...
She went back to a comfort. Went back to a comfort. It was like when Pia came back and made the gnocchi again. There was no chance that Pia was then going to go through and come back into the competition.
No, unlike Jess who came back and went, this is the shit I've learned.
Yep. Again, you put the skills to work.
Yeah.
Pia came back and made a gnocchi, and there was no chance she was coming back with that because it was the first dish she did, and they wanted to see development. Yep. Mish went back to a similar sort of idea, and no, it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's been this last double run of episodes. Now, again, we will do a Ray Watch finale at some point. So, Ray, I know you're out there. I know you're listening. Well, I'm hoping you're listening.
We haven't forgotten you.
We haven't forgotten you. We haven't had the time.
And you can hear it. I can't do justice to Ray Watch.
And we really, again, unless I can actually get David Hasselhoff in, And I might be able to. We've got some alcohol. I've got a burger. We might be able to do it.
We just need like a piano necktie.
That would work. Or the Berlin Wall.
Berlin Wall, yeah.
If we've got the Berlin Wall, Hasselhoff will turn up and sing. But he won't sing the Baywatch theme. He'll sing Looking for Freedom.
That's fine.
I mean, Ray is out now, so he may well be looking for freedom. So we will be back. We will be back on Sunday.
Yes.
Much rested and probably much boozed up.
Yes. We'll be clinking with all the bottles we're bringing back from a little trip we're taking to wine country.
So off to the wine country.
Yes.
But we will be back next week to cover the start of the next week, which won't include Heston.
No.
I thought it was interesting though. Heston week sort of ended in a sort of fizzed a little bit in comparison to what it normally does.
Yeah, it ended with him cooking
making eggs, lamb and eggs.
Lamb and eggs.
Not what you expect from Heston.
No.
Unless that lamb was really a giant ice cream Malteser.
Yeah.
And he was just sort of hiding it from us.
I have a feeling I know what happened, why they couldn't film any more.
Why?
Because George pissed him the fuck off.
Like, when he told him he was going to make souvlaki's out of the lamb?
Yeah, like George is like that little, like, you know when you see those old 1920s films and there's like the big tough bully and then there's like the little bouncy guy. Yeah, bouncing around going, you can do it. You can take him out. Come on. You can do it.
That's George this week. That was George this week.
Yeah.
And on that note, my name's Chris.
I'm Kristie.
And we will catch you all on Sunday.
Ciao.